Hola Year 7, welcome to lesson 9 of the summer term, and this is what we're looking at today. Me gusta hacer deporte, entonces este fin de semana voy a hacer natación. So we're talking about what we're going to do at the weekend using the future tense. So here's a list of the equipment that you need. You can open your knowledge organizer from class charts and also word reference in a separate window. Pause to get all this ready now. Please remember to email me if you have any questions about the activities in today's lesson, and do that between 9 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. Also, thank you to those of you who've sent me in photos of their work from last lesson. You should have had your feedback from me by now. For this lesson, I'd like to nominate Ifsa, Zavi, Evie, Chloe, Ella and Tarnish to send me photos of their work from this lesson, and there's my email address. Gracias. Copia la fecha y el título. So la fecha, lunes el 18 de mayo, y el título, me gusta hacer deporte, entonces este fin de semana voy a hacer natación. So I like to do sports, and so this weekend I'm going to go swimming. So write those out and underline them, please. Then also write down the objective to write a text about what you're going to do this weekend using the immediate future tense. Pause to do that now. Your do now activity is a quick one. Just match up the phrases below. Just write the Spanish, which is numbered on the left, with the correct English next to it. Pause to do that now. And now let's check those answers. Quedarme en casa, to stay at home. Salir, to go out. Estudiar, to study. Relajarme, to relax. And hacer deporte, to do sport. Okay, well done. Pause if you need to. Now I'm going to pass you on to Miss Clinton, who will teach the rest of the lesson. Gracias, adios.
Hola Year 7, so we've got another sentence builder here. We're going to do some speaking practice. Now we've been through the pronunciation of all these words over the last few lessons. So what I'd like you to do this time is listen very carefully to my sentence. I will repeat it 2 times. However, I will miss out the very last word. So you'll need to memorize what I'm saying. Hold it in your memory and then repeat the phrase that I've just said, including the last word that I've missed out. For example, I will say one thing from each column here. So I'm going to start with Prefiero hacer deporte porque es sano. Entonces, este fin de semana voy a hacer Therefore, you would have to finish that sentence. Now, there are a few options here for hacer. However, you heard hacer na. So you would need to say, so you should have said out loud, prefiero hacer deporte porque es sano. Entonces, este fin de semana voy a hacer natación. And remember that theon sound. Hopefully no one said shun. Natation, no. Natación. So I prefer to do sport because it is healthy. So this weekend I am going to do swimming. So let's try another one. Remember, I'll repeat it twice and then you need to pause the video and say the phrase out loud that I've just said in Spanish, including the very last word. Me encanta estudiar dado que es interesante. Entonces, este fin de semana voy a hacer mis... And again. Me encanta estudiar dado que es interesante. Entonces, este fin de semana voy a hacer mis... Pause your video now and say it out loud. And you should have said, me encanta estudiar porque es interesante. Entonces, este fin de semana voy a hacer mis deberes. I love to study because it is interesting, so this weekend I am going to do my homework. Me gusta mucho quedarme en casa ya que es relajante, entonces este fin de semana voy a ver, and again, me gusta mucho quedarme en casa, ya que es relajante, entonces este fin de semana voy a ver. Pause your video now and repeat the sentence out loud. Okay, so you should have said, me gusta mucho quedarme en casa, ya que es relajante. Entonces, este fin de semana voy a ver la televisión. And again, I hope you didn't say la televisión. I shouldn't hear any shuns there. Remember, you need to repeat every single vowel sound. So, la televisión. I really like to stay at home as it is relaxing. So this weekend, I am going to watch the TV. Let's try some negative ones now. No me gusta nada salir, dado que es caro. Entonces, este fin de semana no voy a ir de... And again, no me gusta nada salir, dado que es caro. Entonces, este fin de semana no voy a ir de... Pause your video now and repeat it out loud. And you should have said, no me gusta nada salir, dado que es caro. Entonces, este fin de semana no voy a ir de compras. I really don't like going out, given that it is expensive. So this weekend, I am not going to go shopping. And note here where the negatives go. So right at the very beginning, before the main opinion verb, opinion phrase, and then again before the main, at the beginning of the future sentence. So no voy a ir de compras. Okay, and the last one. Odio relajarme porque es aburrido. Entonces, este fin de semana, mi familia y yo no vamos a escuchar. And again, odio relajarme porque es aburrido. Entonces, este fin de semana, mi familia y yo no vamos a escuchar. Pause your video now and repeat the sentence out loud in Spanish. And you should have said, odio relajarme porque es aburrido. Entonces, este fin de semana, mi familia y yo no vamos a escuchar música. And hopefully you put that emphasis on that U of música because it has got an accent there. Okay, and you'll notice that one I did use a different person, therefore, so I was using the nosotros form, the plural, so my family and I. We are not going to. Okay, so still using the sentence builder, we're going to carry on doing some speaking practice and do some verbal translations as we have done in the past. And to make it a bit more tricky, I'm now going to speak in English and you will then need to follow my sentence, pause my video and say the Spanish out loud. So as always, I'll repeat my sentence twice before you then need to pause the video and have a go. So here's my English sentence coming up. I like to go out given that it is fun. So this weekend, my family and I are going to go to the cinema. And another time. I like to go out given that it is fun. So this weekend, my family and I are going to go to the cinema. Pause your video now and say the sentence out loud in Spanish. And you should have said, me gusta salir dado que es divertido. Entonces este fin de semana mi familia y yo vamos a ir al cine. Okay, and another one. I prefer to do sport as it is easy. So this weekend I'm going to do athletics. And one more time. I prefer to do sport as it is easy. So this weekend, I'm going to do athletics. Pause your video now and say your sentence out loud in Spanish. And you should have said, prefiero hacer deporte, ya que es fácil. Entonces este fin de semana voy a hacer atletismo. And hopefully you remember to put your emphasis on your A there because there's an accent, so fácil. And you also remember that there's no H in athletics like there is in English, so atletismo. Muy bien. I don't like to stay at home because it isn't good. So this weekend, my family and I are going to play football. And again, I don't like to stay at home because it is not good. So this weekend, my family and I are going to play football. Pause your video and say your sentence out loud, please. In Spanish, of course. Okay, so a bit more tricky this one because we had an extra negative. Let's see if you put it in the right place. So you should have said, no me gusta quedarme en casa porque no es bueno. Entonces este fin de semana mi familia y yo vamos a jugar al fútbol. Okay, so you needed to remember that here you wanted to say it is not good. So the no had to go before the S. Often students want to say es no because in English we say it is not. So it's the other way around. In Spanish they say not, it is. So porque no es bueno. Muy bien, year 7. Okay, and the last one. I really don't like, or I don't like at all, to relax, given that it is not fun. So this weekend, I'm going to go out with my friends. I really don't like to relax, given that it is not fun. So this weekend, I'm going to go out with my friends. Pause the video now and say it out loud, please, in Spanish. And you should have said, no me gusta nada relajarme, dado que no es divertido. Entonces, este fin de semana voy a salir con mis amigos. Okay, a very quick match-up activity for you now. I'd like you to write down the Spanish and the English. These are sequences that you're going to see in the reading that will start in just a moment. So it'll be useful for the next couple of activities. Pause your video now to do this. So let's go through your answers. Luego, then, después, afterwards, más tarde, later, primero, firstly, finalmente, finally. Now, these words are going to come in handy a bit later on towards the end of the lesson, or both in the reading text that we're about to do and also for when you come to doing your own writing. And they're useful because they give structure to activities that we're going to do. So if you'd like to say more than one thing you're going to do in a day, this makes your writing a bit more interesting and gives it more structure. You've probably seen these words as well in English lessons. So before we get on to doing our own writing, we're going to do some reading first. I'd like you to read this text below, and then I'd like you to copy the grid here and fill it in. You do not need to rewrite the same phrase more than once. So let's pretend that me encanta was written more than once in the text. You wouldn't write me encanta, me encanta. Note, I've in brackets put the number of words that you're looking for. So here you'll need to add 2 extra opinion phrases. Connectives, obviously an extra 5, etc., etc. So pause your video now to do this. Okay, and here are your answers to your grid. You obviously had quite a few immediate future sentences there, using different subject pronouns. So talking about obviously not just what you're going to do this weekend, but you also talked about, I said what my parents are going to do and also what my brother and sister. So hopefully you recognise those as well, those forms from last lesson. Pause your video now to make any changes. Okay, we're now going to read the same text again, and this time you'll have underneath the English translation. Now you'll notice there's some gaps. I would like you to fill in those missing gaps of the translation. You do not need to write out the whole paragraph in English. You only need to write out the gaps which are missing. Note, obviously, sometimes I want you to translate more than one word, so you'll need to read very carefully the sentences there. Pause your video now to do this. And now check your answers, please. Year 7, I have highlighted in red the Spanish words which were missing and therefore the English translations below. So for example, me encanta salir, salir had not been translated. So underneath the first one, your first, in your book, the first phrase you should have written was to go out. Okay, pause your video now and make any changes you need to. So on to the last activity. I'd now like you to write your own text saying 3 things that you like doing and therefore 3 activities you're going to do this weekend, and 3 things you don't like doing and therefore 3 things that you're not going to do this weekend. If you feel up to the challenge, you might also say perhaps what your family are going to do this weekend. Pause your video now to do this. And if you have any time left at all in your Hour Year 7, please now translate the paragraph that you just wrote in Spanish. And just to say a final, well done for today's lesson, and thank you so much for working so hard as usual. And remember, you can email your teacher if you have any questions at all. Have a lovely day y hasta luego, Year 7.